For decades, Alaska has enjoyed a global reputation for its sustainable fisheries. This is partly because fishery management decisions must, by law, be based on the best available science. The Magnuson-Stevens Act makes clear that fishery management should include an evaluation of biological, ecological, environmental, economic, and social scientific information. Best available science also includes traditional or indigenous knowledge and local knowledge. However, Alaska fisheries management is falling short in accounting for social scientific data, including different knowledge and value systems and the cultural and community dimensions of our fisheries. We see the effects of these shortcomings in restrictions on indigenous fishing ways of life, intergenerational inequities, and the graying of the fleet trend, and the loss of commercial fishing rights in rural and Alaska Native fishing communities. These shortcomings become more apparent as Alaska grapples with climate change and a growing number of fishery crises. These fishery crises are not only environmental and economic ones, they are crises of community, culture, health, and well-being. How can Alaska fisheries science and management better account for these dimensions of equity and sustainability? Despite growing interest in equity and more holistic approaches to fisheries management decisions remain overly reliant on mathematical models and numbers that can sometimes miss the many ways that fishery policies impact individuals, families, and communities. Using best available science requires collecting, analyzing, and accounting for a range of social and cultural data. These data account for dimensions of our fishery systems that are just as important, diverse, and complex as the economic, ecological, and biological dimensions. Equitable and sustainable management of our fisheries requires investing in the disciplinary expertise to collect and evaluate social and cultural data. But less than 1% of NOAA's dedicated scientists are social scientists, and the vast majority of these are economists. Of the 400 staff members at the Alaska Fisheries Science Center, only 2 have primary expertise in the social, cultural, and community dimensions of Alaska's fisheries. Social scientists are trained to analyze and interpret diverse, social, and cultural practices, perspectives, and uses of fishery and marine resources, account for multiple knowledge and value systems, navigate differing assumptions that are often invisible or implicit, and consider the ethical and political dimensions of research and methodologies in ways that other scientists may not. These ethical and political dimensions are especially important when engaging tribal nations and indigenous knowledge systems that have not been well served by prevailing management regimes and necessitate additional consideration under the federal trust responsibility. Like other northern regions of the world, Alaska fisheries, communities, and livelihoods are on the front lines of a rapidly changing climate and environment. Social science expertise is vital to understanding the social and cultural frameworks of fisheries, knowing whether we are meeting fishery management objectives, and achieving the mandate of sustainable and science-based fisheries management. Koyana, Masicho, Gunashjish, Jinon, and thank you for tuning in to our series on science, well-being, and sovereignty. And be sure to check out our sources for more information.